The morning sun rose over a quiet, peaceful village, painting the cottages in hues of gold. Simpleton stood by his small home, gripping his worn axe with steady hands. Nearby, his two older brothers erupted in cruel laughter, mocking his simple clothes and humble work. "You are nothing but a fool," they sneered. Their mother approached, handing Simpleton a small cloth bag containing a single loaf of bread. With a silent, respectful nod, the young man turned away from the taunts and began his long walk toward the shadows of the dense, ancient forest. Deep within the woods, a mysterious old man appeared, his face lined with age. He approached the older brothers, begging for just a tiny crumb of food to ease his hunger. Selfish and cold, they pushed him aside and marched away. But karma was swift. Moments later, as the eldest brother struck a tree, his axe slipped, cutting deep into his own leg. He limped away in agony, leaving the forest floor behind. When Simpleton reached the same path and saw the hungry stranger, he did not hesitate. He sat down and offered his entire meal to the man. The old man's eyes twinkled with a sudden, celestial light. He smiled warmly, and a golden aura erupted around him, pointing toward a hollow, ancient tree. "Strike there," the man whispered. Simpleton raised his axe and swung. The trunk split open with a resonant crack, revealing a magnificent goose with feathers that shimmered like pure sunlight. Amazed, he lifted the glowing bird, feeling its warmth radiate through his hands. As night fell, he sought shelter at a local inn, unaware that the bird's magic was about to cause absolute chaos in the quiet town. Inside the inn, greed took hold. The innkeeper's daughter crept into Simpleton's room, her eyes fixed on the golden feathers. "Just one," she whispered, reaching out. But the moment her fingers touched the bird, she was frozen, her hand stuck fast. Her two sisters rushed in to pull her away, but they too became fused to the growing chain. At dawn, Simpleton walked out of the inn, the goose tucked under his arm. He didn't even notice the three sisters trailing behind him, yanking and shouting in a desperate, failed attempt to break free from the magical bond. The parade grew longer and more ridiculous with every step. A local priest tried to intervene, shouting for them to stop, but he ended up stuck to the end of the line. A curious farmer joined the chaotic dance, followed by a growing crowd of bewildered villagers. This long, wiggling train of people marched toward the royal palace, stumbling over one another. High above on a balcony, the princess watched. Her face had been pale and sad for years, but as she witnessed the absurd sight of the villagers struggling in a line, the heavy silence of her heart finally shattered. A bright smile broke across her face, followed by uncontrollable, joyous laughter. The king wept with relief. Simpleton stood before the throne, his simple kindness rewarded with the hand of the princess. As the wedding began, the golden goose glowed brighter than ever. Truly, kindness always brings the most unexpected rewards.